So, hello, welcome to stint number 4 of the 12-hour race for Lago Maggiore. I'm not alone here, my teammate is also here co-commentating the stint as well. Wer ist Gammeltoast? Say hello, please.
Yeah, hello everyone.
So, I just have to correct the problem because people are saying that the stint is for 120 minutes except of 90 minutes, so we're gonna check on that, but we still have 2 more minutes, so we have enough time. Just gonna check this out. I'm not gonna start before I got confirmation. Don't worry, guys. It's as we still have 2 minutes and we should be good on time. Okay, Charles says that we might need a few more minutes, so for the time being we leave the settings on 90 minutes. Ich sag mal jetzt gerade kurz auf Deutsch, ich glaube, ich bin der erste Streamer heute, der die Fahrernamen auch mal ausblendet. Das ist ja auch schon fast Luxus.
Das ist, ja.
Hatten wir in der Form noch nicht.
Nee, hat mich schon am Anfang ein bisschen getriggert.
Ja, jedem das seine. Geht ja noch nicht los, da kann man noch ein bisschen warten. So, just doing a quick setting on my mic settings as it seemed to be a little bit too silent, so we corrected that, of course. And now we've got the confirmation, the stint length will be 90 minutes, so we put it in the chat as well, so that everybody knows. Okay, Orga just communicated to us that we have 3 more minutes, so we are about to start stint number 4 of the 12 hours of Lago Maggiore. So now, once again, for everyone new in the lobby, welcome to the YouTube streams for the second lobby of the 4th stint of the 12 hours of Lago Maggiore. My name is WSR Otaku. I am the one responsible to keep you entertained for the next 90 minutes, non-standard. Normally you would expect this to be 120 minutes long, but due to some delays for different reasons, we had to shorten a few stints. We did it with stint number 3 as well, so therefore the stint will only be 90 minutes long to try to close the gap on our time schedule, but it should work out in the end pretty well. So as we still have a bit of time, we will do one final cross check on the grid. Everything looks good. Stick at Home should be on 1, Vulcan on P2, Clemens on P3, Masma 4, Ibrox 8 5, P0 Soft 6, then the GT3 leader RS Flash, then Helipower, Temp, Philo, Zero Kuhaku, Yannick Rep, and Demonic Entity is, I think, not a driver of our team, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, he is not part of our team. So, bye-bye. Nice try, however. So, and once again, I also would like to welcome my co-commentator, WSR Gammeltoes. So we have all WS Racing Esports team streaming today. So say hello to the chat.
Yeah, hello everyone. I hope for a great race, and hopefully there's not too much going on, because it's been a bit messy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's always the case in multi-class racing. So the 1 minute board is on the grid. Everyone would be starting the engines now, but as we are at least in the simulation already in the race, that will not be necessary. For those new to the race, we will have a flying start made by Gran Turismo, so just 10 seconds on a straight line on the start-finish straight, and then the race will continue as it did the stints before as well. So 8 spectators already, and we have 6 minutes past 5 PM. So we start the race. 3, 2, 1. Have fun! Countdown is running, so we wait a bit of time, and yeah, let's hope everyone gets through turn 1 safely, which is seems to be a difficult task in the race start at Lago Maggiore. Yeah. You should not expect that, so yeah, let's go with Pian.
The fact that we're doing a normal Gran Turismo start is not making it easier, because we know from other races that it's normally box to box. So yeah.
Yeah, so it will seem, but everyone seems to get away pretty well. I will stay with the front group with the hypercars. You can stay with the GT and keep an eye on the mayhem that might happen later on. 3, 2, 1, lights are off. Stint number 4 is on the way, and Stick at Home already getting a good start in front of the WS Racing car. Great braking action into turn number 1, but everyone goes through cleanly. That's great to see. Just behind the GT3 car seems to be a little bit tighter, and P0 Soft in P6 in the hypercar class already trying to do an attack on Alvarez, and there was definitely contact, and P0 Soft spins out. Oh no, he enters the racing line. Oh, that could have ended in disaster. The stewards definitely will have an eye on this situation. That was a very critical moment. That was a very, very lucky moment for, I think, 4 GT3 cars who were not expecting.
Helipower attacks Flash and goes through. Helipower now on P6.
Yes, and we have a 3-second penalty for Yannick Rep. I don't know how this could happen. I think I know what happened. He might have overtaken a car during the yellow flags phase. Yeah, oh my goodness, that was unlucky. This was definitely not his fault. this was very unlucky. Meanwhile, at the front there was a lead change. VSR Vulcan into P1 in front of Clemenson. And where has Stick at Home gone? He's on P5. What happened there? No replay, unfortunately, as I'm streaming on PlayStation directly. But something must have happened there. He lost like 5 seconds in just one lap, and he already pulled away after 3 corners. So, that was a turn of the events. So, WSR in front, behind them ESP, followed by Alvarez 8. Then Masma racing for the Realistic Racing Club. Crazy start at the moment. What a change of events. Meanwhile, in the GT3 class, everything seems to be sorted out. You just keep me informed if anything happens. Meanwhile, I would stay with the hypercars for a moment, as it's getting a bit feisty there.
Yeah, as expected, it's getting a bit nervous here in the start. But so far so good. No big mistakes here. Everyone seems to go just fine instead of one little spin.
Yeah, but that's normal to happen. That can always happen anytime, as the cars are very difficult to drive. Not only the hypercars, also the GTs. Very difficult circuit to get it right every time. So, meanwhile, we seem to get a fight, as there was an accident. Masma spun out, and I think he might just have gone away. No, he punted the wall and got damaged, and this will cost him a lot of time. This was a very unlucky accident. We almost were seeing Alvarez doing a mistake, and I think Masma got an eye on, just watched him drive in front and was so surprised that he's just spun out. Crazy stuff there.
Got that rear arrow damage, which is going to cost a bit of time.
Yes, so he hit the back wall as he spun out and went onto the grass, yes.
Yeah.
That was very unlucky. No contact, I'm very sure that there was no contact, and yeah, you're right, heli power went just like nothing happened into P1, as I just get a short view on the Group 3 class, on the Le Mans Group 3 cars to be precise, where we have heli power in front. Second place is RS Flash for the second DLL team. Then Temp 333822 for the second GT team of WS Racing. Then Distinct Philo for RRC, Zero Kuhaku for DON, and for Pegasus Racing, Yannick Repp in last place at the moment, as Masma decides to repair his damage and comes immediately out in traffic and almost collects his teammate. That would have been a crazy story. And now he still has him in front. Oh my goodness me, what a race start. We are only 4 minutes in and already action is kicking off. You love to see it, don't you? 1 second penalty for the leader.
Masma is in the traffic of the GTs, having to lap them a second time now. So, yeah, not a race start you want to see.
Yep. Anyone in the chat also, hello to the newcomers now entering the chat. Just keep us informed if the sound is okay, if the in-game sound is too loud, too silent, or if we should talk a little bit louder, a little bit quieter. Just keep you informed if everything is set correctly. So, meanwhile, Stick at Home in the carnage fought back to P3. Which means that he has overtaken Alvarez 8. Sound ist perfekt, wunderbar. Dann lassen wir das so. Okay, so just we got confirmation that the sound is okay, so if we keep it like that, I would say, yeah. So Masma now 23 seconds behind. This is not so much, but I think he did not change his tires. Oh, there was a mistake from Masma again. Let's hope he gets the next corner. Dirty tires is no fun with those cars. As we have a GT car almost catching up with them. That's crazy. Ja, du kannst auf Deutsch schreiben, alles gut. Wir kommentieren nur auf Englisch, weil wir ja auch eine sehr internationale Liga sind. Aber alles gut. Wir sprechen beide Deutsch, beide Englisch. Ich spreche noch Spanisch. Passt schon.
Ah, Spanisch weiß ich ja jetzt nicht.
Naja. So, back to racing. What have we got in front? In the hypercar class. WSR Vulcan pulling away 3 seconds clear of the ESP hypercar from Clemenson. Then 4.5, almost 5 seconds behind, we have Stick at Home. Gap behind only 2 seconds, the closest gap in the hypercar class so far. And last but not least, no, I forgot Masma. I do apologize to RRC, that was not on purpose. In 6th place we have Masma, and on P5 P0 Soft driving for DON. DON, just for those who are interested, is the German abbreviation for Die ohne Namen. One of them more bigger teams in the Digital Endurance Series, also entering with 4 or 3 teams depending on each race, which is crazy. And yeah, let's keep an eye on the GT class, where everything remains as it did before. The BMW by DLL in front, followed by his teammate in the Lexus. Then we have the Lamborghini of WS Racing in P3, followed by the Lamborghini of RRC. Kuhaku in the Porsche in P5 in class, and the other Porsche from Pegasus Racing in P12, being driven by the team chef, if I'm not mistaken, from Pegasus Racing at the moment. So
yeah, Yannick should be team leader, I think.
That's at least what I heard, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I think that's the case. So no fights at the moment. That was a little bit unfortunate, but I think there must have been a mistake. Yeah, there was a mistake by P0 Soft. He's got damage. What did we miss there? So that means that the gap should be closing. Yeah, Masma now only 10 seconds behind, which means that P0 Soft will very likely enter the pits at the end of this lap. Yeah, he lost like 15 seconds almost. And this will cost him.
Probably seek the pits because he has front aero damage and left tire damage, so that's probably going to cost too much time.
And I just want to mention, we haven't even gotten to the overtakes of the hypercars against the GT3 cars, which didn't even happen. It is about to happen, but the carnage has already kicked in. Yeah, you realize the drivers get more confident because they have now like 6 hours of race action already behind them, and now they realize where the limits are and try out a little bit more. So all to play for at the moment, all to play for. Yeah, as expected, P0 Soft entering the pits. Yeah, maybe we are about to get a fight, yeah, no, I was thinking that we might get a fight, so I think it will develop later on depending on race strategy. But there's a bit of time until we get to experience anything like that. So, strategy-wise, we only have 90 minutes. I would say there are basically 2 possibilities, the same for both classes. Either do a one-stop, manage your tires, manage your fuel carefully, or you just go flat out, do a second pit stop, which some people already did, but it mostly was due to damage. And therefore you have better material, but you lose like 18-19 seconds more because of the extra pit stop, which you have to make up on track again. Difficult to say which one is the quicker strategy, but 90 minutes is a lot of time. Anything can happen, especially in traffic, so both might work. Depends on the car, maybe on your driving style. As now the overtakes of the hypercars are starting. P0 Soft now coming through the field. That's an overtake for position as he made his pit stop repairing damage. Yeah, gaps in the hypercar class still increasing. We keep a short eye on that. Closest gap at the moment are between the 2 Porsches of Yannick Repp and Zero Kuhaku. Yeah, Kuhaku.
Then Haku must have made a mistake because the Porsche of Pegasus Racing was 6 seconds behind.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 1 second is a very slow lap time, and now he gets the first LMP traffic from behind. Let's keep an eye on, yeah, it's the race leader, WSR Vulcan, coming now through the field. Oh, and that was a very close one, as Kua could try to leave a little bit of space. Good intentions there, almost very difficult to judge the situation if you get into the corners and got a faster car behind. You want to make space, but the instructions are clear as GT3 car. Keep your lines and, most importantly, drive predictable. And nothing happens. At least nothing bad happens. Normally.
At least that's what the rules say. We've seen some GT3s who are not paying attention to that, but yeah. Some are new into multi-class, so I think it just happens. So it's unfortunately not avoidable.
Yeah, we have already seen a GT3 car also jamming into the brakes to make space for an hypercar, which is very, very dangerous, especially if you keep in mind that the GT3 cars are quicker around the corners, at least around the slow corners, compared to the hypercars, which also you have to take into consideration when you do multi-class racing.
Especially into turn 1, which is a great lapping opportunity, but turn 1 and 2 the GT3s are a bit faster than the LMH, so it always makes up for interesting situations there.
And Yannick Repp now just behind, as Ku got held up a little bit in traffic. So now Yannick Repp should have a slipstream, pulling out of it. Maybe he's just saving a bit of fuel. No, he's trying to close the gap, but now the gap went a little bit too big, so nothing happening here. So the race leader fighting traffic now, punching now through the GT3 field. Next car in line is his teammate in the Lamborghini. Now that we mentioned it, let's keep an eye on the Group 3 cars, how they manage it, if they just stay on their racing line, which normally is the best option that you have. And Heli Power in the meantime also pulling away. He is now at the moment 3.8 seconds clear of the next car behind.
Which was expected, because he had a quali lap time of a 52.2,
yes,
which is 7 tenths quicker than pretty much everybody else.
Yes, and half a second quicker as the fastest lap time he's done so far, 52.746, so crazy pace, which proves that the BMW is a great car around here, even though that it consumes a lot of fuel. Smart driving at the moment now, as he stayed fully to the left, leaving the passing hypercar a lot of space without losing time. That's race intelligence, as we love to see it. But also the car behind, as we have seen it before, great management of traffic, which is not easy around here. You might expect it, as it is a very wide circuit, to overtaking to be easy, but it is really not. It's very difficult, as you misjudge the situation very clearly, as the Lexus went out really wide and was lucky not to spin out in this situation. And that seemed to help the Lamborghini behind, as both teammates now are overtaking each other. The hypercar of Stick at Home and RS Flash in the GT car. So we might get a fight here for P2 in class. So let's keep an eye on the strategy. As we know, Masma made a pit stop very early on, but he also put a bit of fuel in. He just did not just repair damage, he did a bit more. His tires look pretty good, so I would guess that he did change his tires and that he's now going for a slightly longer stint and will only do one more pit stop compared to the rest of the grid. I would say that P0 Soft is doing the same thing. And the rest of the field, yeah, difficult to say. Consumption-wise, the cars are pretty equal. Vulcan with a little bit more fuel and tire wear, but with a lot of hybrid energy saved, which also is an important factor in the hypercar class. The rest, however, with slightly better fuel and tire management. Oh, great overtaking here by the hypercar against a company car. So I just keep an eye on the race orga chat if the first lobby is also running already, or yeah, I make it a bit quicker. I just get a watch on Twitch.
Be going.
Oh yeah, I see it. P2. There's a fight between P2 and P3.
Fighting.
Yes, stick at home, close the gap. But it's also losing time a little bit more. And I can confirm to you that if you want to get an eye on the first lobby, which is driving at the same time at the moment, where the rest of the field is fighting for positions as well, just yeah, go to Twitch, enter Digital Endurance Series, and there you will see the rest of the stint. If I'm not mistaken, our player is streaming at the moment, so regards to him. And yeah, as we get another one in the lobby who's not part of the race, so let's kick him out. So, where are you? Ah, here. Bye bye. So, back to racing.
Stick at home, still very close to Clemson.
Yes. You have to say it's very difficult to overtake on this track as well, independent of the race class, because there are so many fast corners, and the dirty air makes it very difficult to follow the car in front.
Yeah, it's pretty much impossible if the car in front is not making a mistake. So it can be very, very frustrating.
Yeah, basically the only chance you get to overtake is a mistake by the car ahead or just traffic, and that's it basically. And yeah, maybe slipstream on the way to the small, yeah, no, it's not a small hairpin, on the banked hairpin, better say that it is a banking corner. But at the moment, the gap seems to be increasing at least a little bit. Yeah, meanwhile the rest of the field is so widely spread out that there is not much happening at the moment. In Group 3 class, at the same time, the smallest gap we have at the moment is between the Lamborghini of Temp and the Lexus, and very surprisingly, the Lexus with worse tire wear than the car behind, which is normally known for having a bad tire wear. So that's interesting. Lamborghini with a better tire wear than a Japanese Luxury Toyota. And both of them are doing great lap times. You have to say that as well. Both of them doing 53s, of course. And on the same at the same time, we have Helipower doing 52s because yeah, why not? Yeah, but Helipower in a very good position at the moment, nothing happening there, a very safe spot. And the Lexus also gained a bit of time on the car behind. But overall the Group 3 feels still more even than we might have expected at first. P5, where do we have it? Ah, Masma. Yeah, Masma now overtaking his teammates in the Lamborghini. No, Nuschel, this is not the Krusty Krab, this is Panda Beer. Oh, half a second penalty for Alvax, but the gap in both directions is very large. Nope, I am not alone. We are 2 people at the moment.
Yeah, that's correct. As we see, there's a lot of time between the hypercars because there's a lot happened in the LMH class compared to the GT3 class, which are very close to each other, at least a couple of them. But still, stick it home, under 1 second away from Clemson.
Dusha says that you're a little bit silent, so if you can make your mic sensibility a little bit higher, it might help.
Hello, hello, test, test, test.
Yeah. The gap between Yannick Repp and Kuhaku increased a bit as well. They were very close together a few laps ago. And we are shortly but surely approaching the pit stop window for those who might go for a one-stop, 3-stop strategy. Not one-stop, 3-stop. Yeah, the expected laps for 90 minutes are in the Group 3 cars. More or less. No, nothing happened to Filu, just the Group 3 pace of the cars in front are, yeah, it's not so bad. If you keep an eye on Helipower, who's doing 52, slow 53s. Yeah, Flash also doing great lap times, 53s almost consistently, Temp behind also doing great lap times, so... No, nothing happened. It's just the average pace in the Group 3 cars, and we don't even know what's happening in the other lobby. If the pace is also so crazy, or if it's just the case in this lobby here. So no, all good with your teammate. My apologies, I'm still a little bit sick. Oh, the gap to Helipower has been a little bit larger before. He was like 7 or 8 seconds in front, now there are only 6 seconds. Did we miss something? There's no traffic?
Probably. We have
yeah, the lap time is shit, only 1:56.
Yeah. Might have been a little mistake.
Yep. Yeah, at the meantime, Stick at Home still being glued to the back of Clemson, but now also with a slight mistake coming out of the third to last corner of the track. Oh, there was a crash between the Pegasus Porsche and Stick at Home, who were just at... Oh my goodness, Stick at Home passed the pit lane! That was so unlucky. He has to do one full lap with damage now, as he collided with the Porsche. I think the Porsche just spun out on his own, and Stick at Home had no chance, however, whatsoever to stay clear of the Porsche in front. Oh my goodness me. That was so unlucky.
And that is very, very frustrating for Stick at Home.
Yes. Let's keep an eye on the pace. He's passing now the first sector. He has lost, yeah, already 2 seconds in the first sector. So, yeah, that's nothing short of disaster. Let's see what he loses now.
Complete front of the car is damaged, so he's probably going to lose a lot of time here.
Yeah, he has to switch now for a 2-stop strategy. More or less 54 laps is the race distance for 90 minutes for the group, or for the LMH class. Oh my goodness me.
And it's
such a silent and relaxing face.
Fighting with Clemison.
Yes. But now, yeah, look at the gap. It's just instantly increased to like 8 seconds, and it's still increasing.
Still increasing.
I just have to say that the race leader is not pulling away, as Clemison is, I think he's even closing the gap. Yeah, he's massively better tire wear.
If you look at the tire wear, yeah, exactly.
But not only that, the fuel as well. This is like 5%, which already are 2 seconds time gained in the pit lane. So it's not over yet, the fight for P1. There might still be a chance that we get a good fight. So Stick at Home has reached the pit lane. I don't know what to say, just unlucky. Why is there a BMW shot? Because it's now passing in the pit lane. That's strange.
As the WSR Lambo is 3 times behind Flash.
Oh, let's see. Oh yes.
Now 4.
And there was no traffic, so what happened to Flash? Yeah, the tires are almost giving in. But the Lexus, as we know, the car with yeah, great fuel consumption. Maybe we now get an overtake. We haven't gotten one since a couple of laps. The Lexus is a bit too far behind at the moment. But he's staying close to him as we get the lead pack behind the fighting group at the moment. If I am not mistaken, yes.
Yes.
The race leader is approaching both fighting LMGT3s.
This is going to be interesting.
But that's a great overtaking spot. Now clinching onto the inside. Hope that both GT cars play along, which they do.
They do.
And Vulcan is entering the pit lane, so that is clearly a sign that he's doing a 2-stop strategy.
Side by side with Flash now into turn 1.
Yes. And the overtake maybe completed. No, Flash seems to try to fight back. Both of them leaving each other more than enough space. Great to see. And yeah, overtake completed. P2 for Temp. And yeah, look what this has timed to the time, as they have lost like 3 or 4 seconds to the race leader. Helipower now 9 seconds clear, doing what he's doing best, just driving.
Yeah, incredible pace from Helipower there.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's how we have always known him. But Helipower is almost out of fuel. I would say 3, maybe 4 more laps after this one, and then his stint is over. Same thing counts for the Lamborghini as well. The Lexus, however, with a bit more fuel, so they both might meet once again on track. Well, actually, they are still together.
Yeah, the Lexus is a very fuel-efficient car, so maybe we will see a pass again after the pit stops.
Yes, and now we've almost seen a prime example of how slow the hypercars are in slow corners compared to the LMGT3s, as they have, yeah, so bad grip, yeah, mechanical grip. It's just a disaster to drive if you're not used to it. Very, very difficult. So, that's a surprise. Helipower coming into the pits, but yeah, of course, a clear sign that he also will do at least 2 scheduled pit stops. And the same thing goes for Clemenson, who also has gotten damage. That was bad timing. How did this happen? We missed it during the Group 3 fight, so apologies about that, but yeah, difficult to keep an eye on everything. So Vulcan, unsurprisingly, back on the lead, but I would say that the lead is also increasing as Clemenson is still refueling. He will need at least 50% of fuel, approximately. Yeah, it's 51%. And he did repair damage, and yeah, let's see what it cost him. 25 seconds, so he lost like 15 seconds. How did that happen?
There must have been a bigger mistake for
Okay,
Clemson.
Vulcan did refuel a little bit less, but that cannot be the only reason. I think he made a mistake somewhere. And now Vulcan is stuck in traffic behind the RRC Lamborghini. Now getting past him, both of them keeping clear of each other. Great to see. The WSR hypercar and the Lamborghini of the Realistic Racing Club. So Clemenson in second place. Both of them did change tires. Stick at home now 8 seconds behind, so he made up a little bit of ground. Also has more fuel on board. And he also has a half a second penalty. Now getting past the Porsche of DON. Oh, and there was a crash. P0 soft in the grass, out of the hairpin. And there was traffic next to him as he spun out. I don't know if there was contact or not. Oh, but there seemed to definitely be now contact as another hypercar went past him, and I think it was Masma, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Masma is the car who just went around him. So, who was the rest? It was Clemenson, I think. He was close by, and the other car was... yeah, Helipower was next to it, but he has no damage, so this seemed to be maybe a misjudgment while overtaking a Group 3 car. I don't know. But if anything happens, the stewards surely will get an eye on that. Yeah, fact of the matter is that P0 Soft has damage on his front bumper again, and will crucially lose time to the cars around him. Already the gap to Alvarez in front, 1 minute and 16 seconds, and what is even worse, that he is just on his first racing lap after his second pit stop. So he basically just came out of the pits. Stick at home again, stuck in traffic. It seems to happen to a lot of hypercars at the moment, being stuck at the S's. But Heli giving him sufficient space. And my guess is that Temp and maybe RS Flash are really trying to go for the one stop as they still stay on track.
It looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, difficult to say, because Temp now enters the pit lane. He will have to do 55 minutes on one set of tires, which is not entirely impossible, but very, very difficult. Helipower now coming around. Yes. But the tire at the moment is not looking that bad. So what about Flash? Flash staying out. 10% of fuel left. This should normally be sufficient for 3 more laps, maybe 4.
Flash is for sure going for a one stop.
He might, but the tire wear is terrible. And keep in mind, he will have to do after this one 6 more laps to work it out. So, and the tire wear is getting worse and worse every time, and will also increase. So I'm not sure if it's the right solution, but yeah, who knows? Maybe he's smarter than us. It can work. Oh, another penalty for the Lexus of RS Flash, and that is a relevant one. The lap times, however, are not that bad. He's doing 55s with very, very worn tires. So, just in case that any one of you is interested in the Bundesliga results, the afternoon matches have finished right now. And yeah. Let's keep an eye on the track, and if nothing's happening, we can just walk through the scores to see what's happening. Yeah, Vulcan with a crazy lead at the moment, 25 seconds, so he really wants to get this car back on the podium after such a misfortune in the first 6 racing hours. One disconnect, one brake failure, one throttle failure. Almost anything happened to this car already, so enough for 2 races, to be honest. But the car is on the best way back to the podium at the moment, not gonna lie. As Philo, meanwhile, is on the way to the pit lane to get a fresh set of tires and fuel.
Probably going for that 2-stop as well.
I'm not sure, as he's refueling over 70%, and this is normally sufficient for a 1-stop. So he will definitely manage his tires to death. Yes, he's more than enough fuel to go for the end.
Yeah.
But he still has 27 laps to go. As he's now starting lap number 20. The pace was very good. And keep in mind, Helipower will do one more pit stop. But I think this should not be that much of an issue, as he is 16 seconds clear of the next car behind.
Yeah, if Helipower's driving that pace,
it's gonna be difficult.
Remaining 60 minutes now, it's going to be very, very difficult to attack him.
Yeah. So, Ku also coming out of the pit lane. And, yeah, very clear air, no car in front, no car behind. Yeah,
also
one hypercar approaching.
About 80%, so he is also aiming for that 1-stop.
Yes. Great development, by the way, of Zero Kuhaku, as he was very known for doing a lot of mistakes, but mostly known for never giving up and helping his team as he can, and yeah, improving his lap times race by race. 56s, of course, compared to times like the ones from Helipower or Philo, for example, they are not amazing, but he's doing it consistently, and yeah, that's great to see that he's getting better and better. Also, yeah, we can even call him a legend, as if I'm not mistaken, he's done almost every race in the Digital Endurance series since, yeah, 3 years or something like this, which is, yeah, just crazy. So
it's incredible.
I think like almost 10 or 12 different 24-hour races in the last few years. And also doing like 6 hours at once, so doing 2 stints of 3 hours back to back. Which normally after that you are just finished for the rest of your day. You just don't do anything after such a thing.
Yeah, but the development is also what you want to see as a driver. If you take time and effort and you put it into the driving skills and everything, it's guaranteed that you are getting better, and it is very, very good for the team, it is very, very good for the driver, and makes a lot of fun.
Yes. So, as nothing is happening at the moment, we can yeah, get an eye on the Bundesliga results at the moment. Yeah, Leverkusen yesterday played against Mainz and won 2-1, and yeah, today's the first 4 matches. Union Berlin against Heidenheim 2-2, Werder Bremen against Darmstadt 1-1, Stuttgart against Cologne 1-1, and Mönchengladbach against Bochum 5-2, and there's only one match remaining today, which is Bayern Munich against RB Leipzig. Ironically, almost every time they play against each other, there's an important race going on. The last time they played each other in Munich, it was the real-life 24 hours race of the Nürburgring last year. This is almost too random, to be honest. Ah, very unfortunately that nothing is happening at the moment. Yannick Repp, I think, is also trying to go for the one-stop strategy, to be honest, as he also has around 65% of fuel left, a bit less. Hard to say at the moment.
It's strategy-wise, it's very, very interesting. A lot of people going for that one stop, at least fuel-wise. So we have to take a look at the tires because they are not going to be in a good shape, and it's very hard to manage them, especially to the end.
Yes.
So it should be very interesting.
So just a quick update for those of you who are not watching the first lobby. At the moment, yeah. TRL Lightning, also known as Mika Lizal, in the lead of the Lobby 1 race at the moment, followed by Philip Rage, followed by Joe, followed by F1 Dennis, and in last, or second to last position is, if I'm not mistaken, the teammate of P0 Soft at the moment in the second hypercar of DON. That's at least anything that I can see for the time being. Fastest lap at the moment in the first lobby, 138.615. That's not bad. So Masma is, I think, about to do his second pit stop, which of course means that he has, if he stops now, he will have 28 laps in front of him. Very difficult to do 28 laps if you keep an eye on his tire wear already.
Ours Flash was in the pits as well.
Yes.
Refueled to about 55%, so I think he's going for that one stop.
I think he has not enough fuel for that. We are not even at half time. 24 laps remaining, yeah? It's not impossible. He can maybe do it. It was his first pit stop, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was his first one. So yeah, he's definitely going for one stop, you're right. Which also means that Heli Power maybe, just maybe, will come out behind him. He is at the moment 35 seconds ahead. And he is able to do maximum 10 more laps with his fuel remaining, maybe only 9 after this one.
Yeah, but with the pace of Heli Power, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, he has to push now, he has to pull away, because if he does not, there's one more car to overtake. Yeah, the Lamborghini is also going to enter the pits once more with a little bit of more fuel, so he will get a bit of time back. As he's now getting passed by the ESP Lamborghini hypercar. I always say Lamborghini, I don't know why. Maybe because Lamborghini is entering the hypercar class in real life next week in Qatar. I don't know. Yeah, the gap between P1 and P2 still increasing.
Yeah, the WSR LMP driving a very, very good stint so far.
And
very
I think
consistent
Yannick
lap
Repp
times.
made a mistake somewhere, as he's doing a terrible lap time at the moment. There must have been something happening. He's doing a 158 or something like this.
Yeah, he also did a 0 to 0 on lap 17, which doesn't look like a pit stop.
You mean a 202?
Something. Yeah, sorry.
Ah, okay.
202.
Yeah, there must have been. I think I saw him off track just before he got passed by Helipower. Maybe it was for blue flags, as he's getting blue flags again, but this time it's for an hypercar, so this of course means keep your line. Oh, he's also driving with stability assistance. Interesting. If you know, you know. Oh, there was a very slippery drift at the moment. Almost lost the car, but gained it back under control. Or maybe it was just because I mentioned his steering assistance. Maybe.
Massman now into the pits.
Yes, and it will surely be his last pit stop. Ah, great respect shown here between the hypercar of DLL and the WSR Lamborghini. I'm not sure, but I think that Temp is driving on controller because I always see his lights flashing and it does not make any sense. So normally it is like a bug. If you press the button on the controller, not on purpose, the lights start flashing randomly. And I think we are just witnessing exactly this phenomenon here, because we don't see it on the other Lamborghini.
Yeah, I talked to him earlier that day, and he was saying that it's a bit difficult to switch from controller to wheels, so maybe he switched back because he felt comfortable with it.
But I have to correct myself, because the other Lamborghini has the same issue. So maybe it's only a bug, because the lights on the other Lamborghini of RRC are also flashing all the time. So what did you say? It was difficult to switch from controller to steering wheel, but it's still okay to do 53 lap times. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I talked to him earlier and he said it's difficult for him to switch from controller to the wheel. So I guess he's not making the move to switch to the wheel and decided to drive controller.
Okay, Nuschel says, yeah, but Fido is also on pad, and yeah, it's a known bug. I know, for example, Vulcan has exactly that issue, so if you see his lights flashing, it's normally because of excessive steering, as he also is a pad driver. But yeah, good to know. We do not know that much about the Lamborghini still. We have, however, like 9 or 10 months of time to learn a bit more about this car. Ah, okay. Yeah, but for example on the BMW M4 in this game, the flashing lights are also almost not recognizable. So let's run through the field once more. But yeah, very unfortunately, at least for us commentating this race, the gaps are still increasing, so not much happening at the moment. The smallest gap right now, I think, is between Flash and Fino. Yes, it is the smallest gap of the race with 9 seconds. Yeah, the first thing that will happen in the next 2 laps is that the race leader will pit again, and yeah, the question will be, will he emerge in front or will he fall back to P2 in class? Oh, there was almost a big accident for ESP. He almost lost the car in the S's, overtaking the DOM Porsche. No contact, his own mistake, if I saw it correctly. There was more than enough space between both cars. And Stick at home, driving now really carefully, only doing 140s to 141s. Same thing goes for Albrecht, but it can also be traffic on track. Hard to say. The hypercar's getting really unlucky at the moment, overtaking GT3 cars. Almost only after or within the S's in the second sector. Great respect of blue flags by P0 Soft, we just got it on camera, but he almost breaks the Lexus and he's not happy about it. RS Flash, flashing his lights, he really did not enjoy this situation. And it could have ended in disaster. Even though that P0 Soft did not do anything wrong, he just went off the throttle, let the faster car in this class pass, stayed clear of the racing line. Yeah, but that's the difficulty about multi-class racing, there's almost always anything happening.
Yeah, and that's also what I mentioned before the race, it's sometimes getting a bit hectic between those two classes, so you really have to watch out. As well as the GT3 and as the hypercar.
Yeah, the result of that is that Philo is closing the gap, he just gained 1 second like this.
Also a 1 second time penalty for heli power, which is not good for him against the race between him and Flash.
Yes. The Twitch stream already playing around with their sound alerts, which we unfortunately do not have.
Here we have reached a pretty calm state of the race.
Yes.
Nothing really happening here, but it can change very, very quickly.
Yes, we have to wait until the next pit stop window, which will happen and I think is about to happen already, as P0 Soft still with damage from his incident before. Yeah, Masmano with fresh tires, he is very likely to go till the end. He has now 22 laps remaining, which should just be enough, but it is possible that he has to do one more pit stop. He will, however, stay within his position, as the car behind is over 90 seconds, 87 seconds behind.
An interesting side note here, I'm looking at the hybrid system of the LMPs, and the leader, the WSR LMP, has almost a half full battery, as everyone else is running very, very low.
Yes.
So this is giving the WSR LMH even more advantage to the 32-second lead, which is very, very good looking for the leading car.
And I think it will help later in the last phase of the race, when the hybrid energy for the rest of the grid runs out and the leading car still has enough.
Yeah.
I'm here to spy. So, yeah. Let's keep an eye on each car in the Group 3 class, of course, as there's not much happening at the moment. Yeah, let's walk through the field, let's do this. So we have in the last position at the moment Yannick Repp for Pegasus Racing with 38 seconds to the car in front, now being overtaken by Maspa for RRC. In 5th place in the Group 3 class, Kuhaku with 58 seconds to the next car, driving for DON. The next car ahead is Distinguido for RRC in the Lamborghini, and between him and the car ahead we have the currently smallest gap in the entire grid with 9.2 seconds. Yeah, and P3 we have the Lexus of RS Flash. He will most likely go to the end. Meanwhile, the rest of the entire grid will do at least one more pit stop. Also, this guy here, Tem333822, driving for WS Racing in the Lamborghini as well. And the class leader at the moment, who's also about to enter the pit lane for one last time, is Heli Power, driving for DLL as well. I forgot to mention that RS Flash also driving for DLL, but for a different team with a different brand. So, the race leader coming into the pit lane, and he is very likely to keep the lead as well, as Clemenson made an accident. He has front bumper damage. Yes, so perfect timing by the race leader, because he is very likely to keep his position. So that was a change of events. Yeah, let's talk about this. Driving for ESP, Clemenson. Then for DLL we have Stick at Home in P3. 4th place car is Albrix, and in P5 almost running out of energy, and the only hypercar except of Vulcan and Clemenson was now entering the pits. Very likely to not have to do another pit stop. Yeah, and in last place we have P0 Soft. Lots of fuel, which should be sufficient to go till the end, but I don't think that the tires will last, as we still have 32 minutes to go. Just a reminder, the race stint is only 90 minutes long, as we have lost a lot of time due to a red flag situation and some other connection issues. Therefore we have to shorten a few stints, but at the moment it seems to look really good for stint number 5 to start on time and be 2 hours long, so 120 minutes as it normally should be.
And the Porsche of Pegasus Racing spinning now. I don't know if there was a contact, but there was a lapping between the Porsche and I don't know which LMP.
The car in front of him was RS Flash by DLL. That was the only car next to him. The next car in front is... where is he? The race leader, but he just went out of the pit lane. Let's keep an eye on the lap time of Flash. Lap times of both cars are normal, so it might have been his own mistake. It's difficult to say.
Yeah, I think so. There was a lapping between him and some LMP, and maybe he just compromised his line in the S's, which is pretty deadly for a GT3. Yeah, maybe he understeered out and then spun on its own. Pegasus is now over 1 minute behind the whole pack. It is really frustrating for them.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Stick at Home now in 2nd position, but remember, he will have to do one more pit stop. And Clemenson and Vulcan already made their second stop, so they will finish their stint on normal conditions without a third pit stop. So, the LMGT3 leader into the pit lane, Helipower, and the last car at the moment in the LMH class. As we did expect it, because the tires were never gonna last till the end of the race.
Yeah,
so Helipower now getting past Temp. Where is RS Flash? Because he will finish this race without another pit stop. We have a random guy joining the lobby for the third time, so third time lucky, and Helipower is staying on second position. That was perfect timing, as he could have lost a lot of time behind the Lexus. But I think both of them, as they're driving for the same team, yeah, did plan it to perfection. Let's suggest that. So the only one in the front group who will have to do one more pit stop in the Group 3 class is this guy here, the Lamborghini, in first place for the time being. Still doing great lap times, high 53s to low 54s is very good. I would say that he is going to do maximum one more lap and then he will finish his stint and change his tires and refuel for one last time. So this means that the closest gap at the moment is between RS Flash and Helipower, but if we consider Helipower's pace up until now, I am very sure that the gap will increase once again. However, Flash is also doing great lap times, 53.3, 53.7, 53.9.
Temp now pulling into
P0 Soft getting blue flags for the race leader. Now opening up the racing line, letting race leader pass. Oh, this was a close situation. That was one of those moments of the race. The race leader getting through both DON cars. No contact, no incident, but it was a very close situation. So, the provisional race leader into the pits and, as expected, coming out behind RS Flash. Gap to the Lexus 17 seconds, but now with fresher tires he will try to close this gap. And I would say he refueled way too much, as there are only 14 laps remaining for the Lamborghini. And yeah, it's expected the gap between both DLL cars is yeah, increasing. To be honest, I'm not sure if the race leader has enough fuel on board. I don't think so. I think he has to do one more pit stop.
Oh yeah, it doesn't look promising.
Because compared to the fuel of the rest of the grid, they have way more fuel, and the fuel consumption of the race leader was not the best.
Yeah, especially compared to Clemenson, who has pretty much double the fuel amount.
I think he refueled too much. I would say the perfect fuel amount for the rest of the race is yeah, around between both of their fuel levels, so around 35%. Normally you get like 24 to 26 laps with 50% of fuel, which means you will do maximum of 13 laps with half a tank. But as we know that we have to do 54 laps approximately with a good pace, and Vulcan has now still 15 laps ahead of him and only has 25%, I think he short fueled his car. I'm very sure he did.
That
Christ on his throat now.
Yeah, we have to keep an eye on that, because this is probably going to cost him the lead, since Stick at Home is only 17.5 seconds behind him.
Yeah, I don't think so, because the gap seems to be increasing if you compare the pace. Vulcan at the moment is 2 seconds per lap quicker. Vulcan's teammate just confirmed that the fuel is sufficient if he saves a bit of fuel, so this also should mean, but I would say Stick at Home has to do another pit stop, because his tires are done and they will definitely not last for 13 further laps. And also one factor that you mentioned, of course, for the leading car is that he still has enough hybrid energy left, which also helps on fuel consumption.
Yeah, compared to the other LMH, which are all running very, very low.
Yes. Oh, we might get a change for position. Yes, Masma back into P4 because Alvarez has to do one more pit stop. Mostly due to tire wear and of course due to fuel, but for P0 Soft the gap is still too large. So the gap between Helipower and Flash sorry, the gap between Helipower and Flash did increase slightly. And at the same time the gap between Temp and RS Flash is coming down, but very, very slightly. Both of them are approximately doing the same lap times. Maybe Flash at the moment is even a bit quicker. But the Lamborghini with way fresher tires and on one lap pace the car should normally be quicker, so I don't think they will meet again on track, but the gap should be coming down at least a bit. Also, no mistakes whatsoever by the three leading cars. They made an almost perfect race, so the leading cars in the Group 3 category.
An incredible consistency there, especially at the pace of them. It's very, very incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a 5-minute break. I will stay with, who do I choose? Let's stay with the Group 3 leader for a few laps. I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes.
Stick it home now into the pits as expected. And he comes out right after Clemenson. So still not a lot going on at the moment. Pretty calm state of the race. Lowest gap is between Clemison and Stigatom with 2 seconds. So maybe we see a fight there. And Clemison making a huge mistake. Unfortunately, guys, you don't see that, but Stigatom now in P2 of the LMH class. Clemison still hanging on.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, that was definitely necessary. So, did I miss anything? Oh, yeah, I did miss something. The gap between P3 and P2 is coming down.
Yeah, it's because Stigatom was pitting again.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
And he fought his way through Clemison, since he made a little mistake.
Okay.
And yeah, now he's back in P2 again.
Okay, what else happened? Yeah, the gap between Tampa and RS Flash came down. The Lexus still on the total time schedule ahead of the Lamborghini, I think. No, the rest seems normal. Yeah, and Vulcan at the moment made, yeah, since I disappeared, like 4 more laps. Fuel seems to be okay. Hybrid is also great. But
what
crucially, Clemson and Stigatom also enough.
Tire wear of Zero Kuhaku. I mean, he's going to drive till the end, but the tires are pretty much done.
Yeah, he made a really early pit stop, but I think he reached that point where he just says to himself, if I don't push through now, because it's only like 4-5 laps for him, maybe 6. I think it's not worth it to stop again, because even if he loses now 2 seconds per lap, he still loses way less time compared than as he would make 1 more pit stop. So he's receiving blue flags, by the way, for the DLL BMW, which is, yeah, as you remember, the race leader. Yeah, and the gap continues to come down between Temp and RS Flash. Temp doing great lap times at the moment, 53.5, 53.4, 53.4, 53.8, 53.4. Crazy stuff
really
there, crazy stuff. And he has no traffic around him. He has like 40 seconds behind him are basically just clear. Yeah. And you also have to mention that Flash will receive blue flags later on for Kuhaku, which he has to pass as well. And he's getting passed by a lot of hypercars, which crucially already went past the Lamborghini. So, yeah, all of this is time gained, which later on does not have to be gained back. And we still have 10 minutes to go. Just a reminder for you, because the two of us are doing it for the first time, when all cars cross the line, I will say out loud the gaps which are displayed in the red box, just to help the drivers out a bit, as we only have 12 cars in the lobby. It normally should work out perfectly, so that in case anything happens, each driver can come back to the stream, get an eye on the gap on the race finish, and they only have to, worst case, monitor the time below. If I got time, I can mention both. Just so that you are not surprised.
LM GT3 race leader now with a
Heady Power 1 second penalty.
Again.
The man that does no mistakes makes a mistake. Is that the change of events? I don't think so. As he's still doing a 52.7.
Yeah, incredible lap times from Heady Power.
Yeah, but I have to say in general, the pace in the Stint 4 lobby in the Group 3 class is crazy.
Yeah.
Let's do something which I did not do already. Let's, yeah, why do we have a car which started a lap? Why do we have here one? Ah yeah, let's go for Amazon. Let's do a lap with him. Let's go on board. Ah no, he's around the track. I want to have a car which is starting there. Let's go with Masma and do one lap around Lago Maggiore, just to so that you have an eye on the track. So turn 1, very slow corner, very tight. So you got to be very patient on the gas, then early on the throttle as early as you can. Turn 3, stay as far as left as you can to get perfectly aligned for the next right hand turn, which is turn 4 now. Very important corner as the straight is very long at the moment, and yeah, turn 5, in my opinion, one of the most difficult braking points for Group 3 cars, especially for mid-engine cars like the Porsche or the Lamborghini. Another most difficult part of the track to overtake Group 3 cars, in my opinion, the S's, which are the turns 6, 7, 8, 9 and now turn 10, which he is approaching now. Also very important to get a good exit here, as this is one of the very few overtaking opportunities on track. Then, yeah, turn 11, a very highly banked corner, which you can take really quicker than you might expect it. Turn 12, turn 13, easily flat out with both car categories. Then, yeah, turn 14 and 15, where you all have to align perfectly on throttle and brakes, as it's a double right-hander. Turn 16, second to last corner, goes easily flat, and yeah, the last corner, which you also have to get a really good braking point, but you can take it also very good on the inside and very fast as well. And yeah, that was basically a lap on Lago Maggiore, of course. 1:42, not the best lap time of the world, but you have to take into consideration that the tire wear is also really strong already on the Toyota. And yeah, by the way, we didn't... yeah, I did mention it, that Masma fought back to P4 He was at the back of the field at the race start, and now, yeah, 10 seconds clear of the next car behind. So, great comeback. Stick at home, meanwhile, I think he's pulling away of Clemenson.
Yeah, and Kyle asking if we can show RS Flash, who's now 7.5 seconds before Temp. So gap still decreasing.
Yeah, 7.3 seconds. I would have thought that maybe he would gain like 5 seconds, but he already gained 8 seconds to the car ahead. Maybe, just maybe, they'll meet on track, as I think now the tire... Oh, does he have to do another pit stop?
I don't think so, but the tires will
It's
be
gonna be really close.
Shape.
There are 5 minutes left, which means 3 more laps definitely, easily for both cars.
Yeah, fuel looks interesting.
I think he just has enough fuel, but only just. The Lambo is good on fuel, this should not be that much. He also has too much fuel, as I mentioned before, way too much.
Yeah.
Now I think both cars are fine. As, yeah, let's compare it with Philo. Yeah, the Lexus should be fine, but he is... is he managing? Let's keep an eye on the acceleration. He's still revving this car out, so I think he seems to be very sure that his car will make it through, which normally is a good sign, but the gap, and that's a fact for a matter, is coming down. Only 5.8 seconds remaining, so we maybe get a final fight for P8. P8 overall, of course. It's P2 in the Group 3 class, only in this lobby. Let's not forget there are also 7 other cars in the first lobby. No, 6 other cars, as we have 1 withdrawal. Oh, here we have a bit of carnage between yeah, P0 Soft and the car behind should be Stick at Home. So, blue flags on track. Let's see if P0 Soft stays clear. He stays ahead at the moment. But I think he will jump to the right hand side, exiting now turn 10. Yes, as expected.
Ours now lapping Zero Kuhaku, who has no front left tire anymore.
Yeah, but he will punch through. It's 2 more laps for him. But yeah, of course, lap times are just basically disappearing. Car does not want to steer anymore. 4.6 seconds between Flash and Temp. And now traffic is also another factor coming into this bigger picture. As Masma is now overtaking Temp, of course not for position, and now Temp has the very slow Porsche in front, very slow, of course due to the very high tire wear on the Porsche. Oh, where did the Porsche go? Oh, he went offline. Yeah, there's the race leader. Wow, that was perfectly timed by Kuhaku. Say what you want, but it was perfect timing, and Yannick Repp miscalculated for fuel. He has to stop once more. Oh my goodness me. He wanted to go for the 1 stop and... No, it's his 3rd stop. Sorry, it's his 3rd pit stop.
And also a 3-second penalty for the Pegasus.
No, it's not a 3-second penalty, no. It's just an illusion. Oh dear lord, what a misfortune at the end of his stint.
For the Pegasus team.
Very unlucky. Yeah, even though it was only yeah, 90 minutes, a lot happened. We had a crazy race start, then later on basically nothing happened. Yeah, and now again a bit of action, and while Temp is starting his last lap, Yes?
Elvrex got front left damage and aero damage. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't there before.
Yes, and he's on his final lap as well, and he's also very close on fuel.
Oh yeah.
But he will, yeah, it's as mentioned his final lap. Last minute on the board, so we already are keeping an eye on track. The first car to finish will most likely be the Pegasus car, as we have 45 seconds remaining. Maybe, just maybe, he will open one more lap. If that's the case, the first car to finish the stint will be the LMGT3 leader, Helipower.
Helipower.
So one of those will be finishing his stint first. So let's keep an eye on Yannick Repp. 20 seconds remaining. I think he is just fine to open one more lap. Just imagine if he has not enough fuel for one more lap. But it will be his final lap. Only 8 seconds remaining. So yeah. Last but not least, and the first to finish the stint, will be Yannick Repp for Pegasus Racing, which did happen just now. 30 minutes 23 on the board, 1 hour 30 minutes to go. So next car, Helipower, 10.08 minutes. Next car behind, Masma, 1 minute 38. Next car behind, where is he? Oh, here. Vulcan, congratulations to this stint victory. Race leader, of course, no gap therefore. So, next car in line. Alvarez with 1 minute and 53. Then we have RS Flash, 10 minutes 30, followed by Temp, 10 minutes 31. He closed the gap to 8 tenths. Imagine we have gotten one more lap. Zero Kuhaku, 12 minutes and 22 seconds. Stick at Home will be the next to arrive. Current gap to the car ahead, 39.6 seconds. Let's make it 39 to 40. P0 Soft, 4 minutes and 7 seconds, and only 2 cars remaining. Clemison and the last car, Distinct Philo with 11 minutes and 7. Clemison 48 seconds, 0.9. This was stint number 4. And this is our stint winner, WSR Vulcan 09. Congratulations, and yeah, the race of course still not over. We have 4 more hours to go. Yeah, thanks for being on stream. I hope you enjoyed the race. Thank you as well, of course, Gammeltoast to assist me for the last 90 seconds. Let's save the replay just in case. And yeah, I hope that all of you enjoy the rest of the race. I'm gonna finish the stint in a couple of seconds, but just in case, let's keep an eye on the results as well. As you've seen it before, WSR Vulcan in first place in the hypercar class. Second place, Stick at Home, Clemson P3, Masma 4, Averix P5, and P6 in the hypercar class, P0 Soft. In the GT3 class, we have in P1 Helipower, P2 RS Flash, P3 10333 822, P4 Distinct Philo, P5 Zero Kuhaku, and P6 Yannick Repp. So let's make a screenshot just in case that anything happens. So hang on a second, I got a window ahead. Oh, my goodness me. So many announcements. Come on, just disappear, please.
Yeah,
Still unable to do a pit.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for letting me co-commentate this thing here. We still got 4 hours to go, so it's going to be...
Okay, then let's finish this stream.